y'all finding these crazy bitches at? That's what I want to know. You go to the crazy bitch store to find these crazy bitches?
Hello, black hole. See this brother winning, man. Hey, hey, look, what is your win, babe? What is your win, babe? What is your win, babe?
Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please remember to hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube, and for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it. If the YouTube gets it. Let's continue talking about Bobby Womack. My story, 1944 to 2014. Y'all know I'm still sick. A couple of hours later, I got a call. Harry was lost. How do you get back up into those hills? He asked. He was down on himself for not being able to do that one thing and also to take care of himself. Hey, don't worry about it, I told him. It's not like you're going to a meeting. I gave him some directions. Okay, he said. 3 hours later, I got another call. He was still lost. Okay, pause. Okay, y'all. I shouldn't be, playing around, cracking jokes and shit like that while I'm sick. Okay. But anyway, let me tell you something. One thing that always gets me itching and a scratching, I ain't gonna lie, never ever, okay? When I get on that wrong road headed towards the south side, if you from DC and you from Northwest or Northeast, you know what I'm talking about, okay? I don't know nothing about that shiz over there. I'm not talking about like the southeast side that's close to the northeast side, like, you can walk across the street and you over there in northeast. I'm not talking about that shit right there. I'm talking about to the gutter. You hear me? Now, in some parts of the southeast, that's a beautiful place, okay? But around there to the Congress Park, that shit's around there. I don't care how much you gentrify that shit's over there. That shit will always be the Congress Park. Like Congress, okay. Nay. Congress Park, that sounds like an astute place because it's named after Congress. That don't mean shit in the DC. 3 hours later, I got another call. He was still lost, still trying to get up into the Hollywood Hills. He'd filled the car up twice with gas. He'd done so much driving. I had a gig up in Seattle, and I told Harry that when I got back, he should pick up the bass again, and we'd go into rehearsal. I flew up to Seattle with my girlfriend. She made that night hell. If the maid came into my room, she'd accuse me of sleeping with her. We had a big fight, a real screamer, and I ended up putting her out of the hotel suite because I couldn't take it anymore. That night, I went out on the prowl. I thought, fuck it. I'm getting grief for not effing anyone. I might as well pick up a chick. Typical of my luck, there weren't any hot ladies hanging around the club. Wait a minute, the Bobby. Hold on, who told you was an old hot man? Okay, yeah, you could play the guitar, yeah, but you still got that big ass forehead. But let me stop playing, y'all. Okay, there are some very attractive pictures of Bobby Womack out there, okay? And yes, his head was on, or his forehead was on spectacular. But I mean, y'all know I'm a dimple freak. Okay, and that's all I have to say. I am a huge dimple freak. It does something to me. Matter of fact, I think all my emotions, with Candy Girl and Calvin have dimples. What is that about? That's the perversion in me, I guess. Typical of my luck, there weren't any hot ladies hanging around the club I played, but there was a hooker, a white prostitute. She told me it was $100. Not much more than the whore in New York when the Valentinos played the Apollo. Shit. Them streetwalkers, As Hustle Mom Martina said, y'all know that's my favorite hoe in the world. I love her, okay? I love her, all right? I love her standards. Anyway, I know you ain't finna give Hustle Mom Martina $100. That ain't finna happen. Then I had a change of plan. I figured I could just fuck with my girlfriend's head a bit. Pause, okay? I know you like, Nay, you keep pausing. Let me just say this. This right here, what we about to get into, is the games that water signs play, okay? I don't play games like this. You will get a motherfucker hurt playing games like this, playing my games. And you Scorpios, okay? You Cancers and you Pisces will work on somebody's nerves, will literally end up making somebody throw you out of the window because you playing mind games, okay? And I don't work like that. Ooh, hold on, pause. One time, y'all, I was messing with this Scorpio. He liked me and I liked him. The problem was he played so many games that he played himself. He told me he had a girlfriend just to see what I would do. And you know what I did? I moved on. And when I moved on, he got mad and couldn't understand why I wouldn't keep fucking with him. You told me you had a girlfriend. You told me you was in love with another woman. Go be in love with her. Get out my face. Matter of fact, you need me to call her? I told the hooker that I only wanted her to come back to my hotel and act like we'd known each other for a long time. The hooker played ball. Whatever your kicks are, honey. Back at the hotel, I saw the light under the door of my girl's room, and I made sure she could hear us walking down the corridor. As we waltzed past her room, me saying, baby, I'm so glad I met you. This is going to be fun. You've got to stay overnight. I heard the door crack open. See the games this nigga play? He already know that his girl is nuts. Nuts, bananas. Why would you play this type of game with this woman? You know she jealous, but you're doing these things on purpose to make her jealous. Stop trying to get a reaction from people. I heard the door crack open. Inside my suite, the hooker was a little surprised. She'd already earned her money and kept her clothes on. What do you want to do? No, that's it, I told her. Really? Yeah, but you can stay here if you want. I put her on a couch, locked the door, and went to bed. I don't know how my girlfriend got in the suite. She must have gone through about 4 locked doors to get at the girl on the couch. But I was woken by screams and someone being hit. Blood was all over the show. That was scary. My girlfriend was raving and she threatened I could have killed you a long time ago. But I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to kill her. See what I mean? You see this? You see this? These is the problems. See, Bobby the Womack, this is why the Womacks have so much treachery surrounding them. That is devilish for you to play mind games with somebody to see what their reaction will be. On the floor, the hooker's coat lay in about 5 pieces, slashed by a knife. No one was going to be wearing that again. I managed to get my girlfriend out of there, but before too long, she was back knocking on the door to my suite again. I couldn't handle it. She was pleading to be let in again and then started going crazy on me, giving me more of her wild, crazy voodoo shit. You blame her? You started it, Bobby the Womack. You're the reason why that girl was nuts. Now, wait a minute, pause. She might have been nuts before you got there to Bobby, okay? But you added on to the nutsy nuts. Don't play with crazy people. Don't play with crazy people like that. That's how you end up in the river. She said, Bobby, please, I gotta talk to you. I just had a dream. I saw Harry in a casket. That's what she said. I couldn't believe it. Not after her trick with the whore. I said, shut the fuck up talking like that. I saw him in a casket, Bobby. I warned her to stop the crazy shiz and that if I did open the door, I would probably hurt her. But she kept at it, telling me Harry was dressed in a white suit and lying in a coffin. Harry's dead, she said. I wouldn't answer her no more. The next day, I had a radio show to do. A call came from my brother Cecil. I was surprised but ran with it. Hey, Cecil, what's up, man? He said Harry got killed. Man, I freaked out. The disc jockey cut the sound, the radio went dead, and I went nuts. A girlfriend of Harry's had gone up to my house to see him, took him a bit of weed. She must have been looking through the closets because she found some women's clothes and got it into her head that Harry was fooling around. They were my girlfriend's clothes. Harry hadn't been fooling with anyone. While Harry smoked a joint and kicked back watching TV, this woman snuck into my kitchen and got herself a steak knife, one of those ones I cooked with, from a drawer, walked back into the living room and plunged it into his neck. The knife was still in his neck when the ambulance and cops arrived. Poor Harry couldn't take the knife out of his neck. What made it worse was a couple of neighbors had seen Harry sat out there on the porch but didn't want to get involved. The doctors reckoned Harry might have made it if they would have called earlier. Where y'all finding these crazy bitches at? That's what I want to know. You go to the crazy bitch store to find these crazy bitches? I started blaming my girlfriend for the whole thing. She'd been the first to tell me, but in my mind, it was like she had put a jinx on him. She had to go. I was sick, sad, and depressed. I would have grabbed at anything. Then an idea came to fake a bad fall. I thought that might get me off some dates. I staged the whole thing at a recording studio somewhere public. I fell back and pretended to hit the back of my head hard against the wall, then claimed that I couldn't see. I got myself to a hospital and the doctors did some tests. One of them was to strike a match real close to my eye to see if I flinched. I didn't. The diagnosis was that it was some kind of psychological thing, a little temporary blindness brought on by the fall and all the pressure I was under following Harry's death. The medics thought that I would recover with some R&R. Rest and relaxation, yow. What a charade. The first date at Madison Square Gardens in New York, I had my brother Friendly lead me out on the stage, gauze and tape wrapped up around my head. He was in on the ruse and introduced me to the audience. I asked him if he thought I could get away with it. It's gonna have to work, bro. He was right. I knew I'd be in a hell of a lot of trouble if I got caught. I had to be fucked out of my mind. I totally overdid the blind man bit, stumbling around, knocking over the microphones, tripping over amps, spilling drinks. But a blind guy ain't never that obvious. I'd worked with a few, Ray Charles and both sets of the Blind Boys. I knew how they got by in a world without light, and it wasn't like that. One of the most embarrassing episodes of the whole embarrassing episode was that Stevie Wonder himself, blind almost since birth, got to hear about my blindness and came to wish me well. He tried to cheer me up, told me it wasn't the end of the world, and while he told me this, I could peep out the corner of my eye, behind all the gauze, and see Stevie sitting there, sympathizing. Man, don't be worrying about no damn Stevie Wonder. That nigga got more kids around here than in the future. I managed to slip out of a lot of those dates. United Artists advised me to take a break, drop the rest of the tour, and get myself over to Hawaii and try and ditch the depression. I called my old friend, Gorgeous George Odell, and he told me to take his wife, Kathy. What? Why would he? Is Odell a pimp? And is his wife, Kathy, a bottom bitch? Why would you send your wife out there to the Hawaii with the Bobby Womack? That's crazy. George say, I could never take my wife out there to the Hawaii with my money. So, I mean, I'm sure she will enjoy the trip. So go and take her over there. Without you, George, shit. The thing was, George's old lady was fine. Very fine. I mean, she was beautiful. Definitely the gorgeous one of the pair. So I felt a little bad because the thoughts about the trip weren't all pure. See, I told you. George, what is you thinking, George? What kind of madness is in your heart, George? Why would you send her around there unless you the pimp, George? Kathy and me flew to the islands, and I was the happiest, pretend blind. person in the whole world. There was a yacht laid on and parties were thrown for me. It was a trip. What I didn't know was the president of the record company, Mike Stewart, had instructed some guy to follow me around and check I wasn't misbehaving. One night, me and Kathy were sat up in the hotel suite drinking champagne. I'd managed to keep my whole act together, but a small piece of the cotton gauze around my head kept slipping into the corner of my eye. It was irritating, so I was constantly pulling at it. I did this one time while we sipped the bubbly, and there was Kathy, sat there doing her nails, naked. Sound like Kathy there to sell some pussy to the blind man, if you asked me. I tried not to stare, but it was hard. Actually, it was impossible. Kathy got up off the bed to dry her nails, shaking her wrists and waltzing around the room. I forgot I was supposed to be blind, and my eyes and head followed her every movement. Kathy, why? Listen. I don't give a fuck if the man is biggity blind. I'm not finna walk around no man as a married woman that I don't plan on giving my vagina to naked. What is this? What is this tomfoolery? Suddenly she caught on to the way I was watching her. She shot me a look, realized I was as blind as she was. Then she screamed, "Oh my God, you bastard!" And she ran out to fetch a towel. "Bobby, oh Lord," she screamed so hard. "Bobby, how could you do something like this? I've got to get another room. You scared the shit out of me." Yeah.